Oh, well, we're so fortunate. We have my colleague Liz Woods here. I understand you have a few questions about the Schweitzer Environmental Center.
With all the standards that we have to meet and all the tests that we have to prepare for, how am I ever going to sell this to my principal?
Research shows that students that are involved in these kind of experiences perform at a higher level. And in education now, it's what does research say and what data is there. There is extensive data all the way back from the 60s. And we have looming legislation. If the Elementary and Secondary Act finally gets passed, a component of that is No Child Left Inside. And so outdoor education experiences will be mandated, and those states and those school districts that are prepared to implement outdoor education experiences will be the ones that will be getting the funding. This also could serve as an opportunity for PBIS. And so those students or classes or grades that are exhibiting positive behaviors, maybe the reward then would not be going to Chuck E. Cheese or playing dodgeball. It would be an experience at the Schweitzer Environmental Center.
Some of my students are a little bit naughty, and it's sometimes embarrassing to take them in public because they don't behave very well. How can Schweitzer handle this problem?
Once again, let me go to the research. There's a wealth of research that demonstrates that problem children that misbehave because they're not engaged or they're not motivated, they can't connect, these type of experiences really bring it out in those kids. And there's just wonderful stories like the student that was a behavior problem every single day until they went out and made a garden on the school campus, completely turned him around. That garden was his thing. It created a sense of stewardship, not just in the class, not just with the garden, but with the whole school. His grades went up across the board.
My environmental science students once took third graders to Brookfield Zoo, and it was a really great experience. But how could Schweitzer be better than Brookfield?
This is a much more practical experience than going to Brookfield Zoo. Now, they're not going to see any elephants out here. However, there's all kinds of wildlife and evidence of wildlife, and they won't be spending 3 hours on a bus. They won't be running all over the place in a chaotic manner. They're going to be out here in a place that they're familiar with. It'll be a short field trip and probably several $100s cheaper than your trip to the zoo.
How can we use Schweitzer to make curriculum connections across all subject areas?
I think that the first reaction for a lot of teachers is, how can I add something else to my curriculum? I already have a jam-full curriculum. We have to meet all these state standards. We got to be ready for good state test performance. This provides an opportunity not to do something more, but to do something more effective. So we won't be asking any teachers to be adding content. This will be a resource for making that content come alive and provide more effective education. Research shows that students that participate in outdoor education experiences have greater retention, perform better on standardized tests, their grades go up all across the board. The reason is they're more excited about learning. As one of my colleagues says, they go from learning to read to reading to learn because they really care about what's going on.
What kind of educational experience could my environmental students hope to gain from Schweitzer?
Oh my, all kinds. There's outdoor education opportunities because the property serves as a laboratory, and I'm hoping that people won't see this as a field trip. They'll see this as a field study and a way to connect their content to an experience. And that leads us to the next way, a variety of experiences for your students. depending on the content that's there. Also is an opportunity for service learning, because they can apply some of the things that they learned in school related to energy conservation or water conservation, and also contributing to the displays. And they can use their environmental education component to share with the public information that they've learned.
I think it's such a valuable resource for teens to teach younger students.
Oh, well, I agree with you. Teen teaching is really a powerful resource. That's when the students really want to know the material, because they're going to be the teachers. And I don't know any teenager that wants to be shown up by a fifth grader or a third grader. This provides a great opportunity. We're hoping to have every grade out here, and so your students could act as the teachers for most of those grades. And actually not just your students, but art students, social studies students, if that was the content area that those elementary or middle school students rather.
Daughter at Dundee Crown High School. How would her teachers use the Schweitzer Environmental Center?
Oh, well, what science is it that she has?
Biology, family and consumer science, social studies, and math.
Oh, perfect. Well, the Schweitzer property will be a great outdoor laboratory. We have wetlands, woodlands, and fields here, which offer all kinds of opportunities for studying the flora and fauna that's there. Even the subterranean soil could be an opportunity for a study. So that's really pretty unlimited for biology, regardless of the content that they're covering.
Wow.
And how about, was it consumer and family sciences? Oh, well, actually, for that whole department, there are a lot of opportunities here. We're going to have several events here, and so it might be a valuable experience for them to plan the menu, maybe even serving while we're here, or designing the workspace that's here. And for the decorating classes, we're not preserving the historic parts of the building, so this could be like a clean slate decorating opportunity every year.
So real life skills.
And you said social studies?
Yes.
Well, this is a great opportunity for looking at all different aspects of social studies, but we have a display room, and it would be great if students could make displays which could teach people about social studies connection to the environment.
Wow, this sounds great.
And you said math.
Yeah, she really doesn't like math.
Yes, I have a bit of a math phobia myself. I find that math, I can understand it when I can make an actual connection to it. It's just a little bit abstract for me. But the property offers ample opportunities for using things like maybe even measuring trees. How do you determine the height of a tree? Well, you can use a little geometry to do that. You can use trigonometry to do that. So this could actually be a great place for some of those math concepts as well.
Wow, that is really great.
Sounds like your daughter Sarah might be coming out here 4 times a year.
That would be wonderful. I bet she'd really like it.
Yeah, I bet she would too.